Well, hello. I am in Bismarck right now, and I'm just doing a bonus video because it's Thursday night. I'm in Bismarck, and I don't know what time it is, but not bedtime yet. So, of course, in Bismarck, I had to stop at Barnes & Noble. That has moved. It is now in the Kirkwood Mall in a temporary setting. It's small in the temporary setting, but still, it's a bookstore. And I asked the guy what the plan is, and he said, "Oh, I don't know." But I did tell him that I hadn't been in the Kirkwood Mall in many years, so Barnes & Noble drew me in. And boy, has the rest of that mall gone downhill. But I think that's why I don't go to malls. So I did buy a few books, so I'll share a couple of them with you. I think the star is this one. This is an absolutely silly book that I don't need. But what it has... pictures. Pairs of pictures. Pairs of pictures. Why? Because in the back, there's that. That is a viewer. So, for example, I am looking at a 3D coma cluster that's 340 million light years away in 3 dimensions. And I think that's cool, so I bought the book. Didn't need it. Didn't plan on it, but and I was happy I bought it. So that's mostly what I've been staring at since I got to the motel. I also purchased Cormac McCarthy's No Country for Old Men. I read his book, The Road, many years ago. Very depressing read. And he doesn't apparently believe in using quotation marks for the conversation, so that's a little weird, but anyway, I'm hoping this will be good. I have seen the movie, by the way, before somebody mentions, that's based on a movie. I know. It was a decent movie, a little depressing, but a decent movie. And then this just caught my eye. So this is Melanie Benjamin's The Children's Blizzard, and I don't know anything about it, but the title just caught my eye. It made me think of Lois Lenski's book, Prairie School. So that's why I pulled it off the shelf and read the back, and then, I wanted it. So I'll just read you the blurb from the back. The morning of January 12th, 1888 was unusually mild following a punishing cold spell. It was warm enough for the children of the Dakota Territory's homesteader to return to school without their heavy coats. At the hour when most prairie schools were letting out, a terrifying blizzard blew in without warning. School teachers were faced with an impossible decision: keep the children inside to risk freezing to death when the fuel ran out, or send them home, praying they wouldn't get lost in the storm. Based on the oral histories of survivors, this gripping tale follows sisters Raina and Gerda Olsen, both school teachers. One becomes a hero while the other finds herself ostracized in the storm's aftermath. It's also the story of Annette Paterson, a servant girl whose miraculous survival touches the heart of Gavin Woodson, a newspaperman looking for redemption. It was Woodson and others like him who wrote the embellished news stories that lured northern European immigrants across the sea to settle a pitiless land without questioning whose it originally was. At its heart, this is a story of courage, of children forced to grow up too soon. It is a story of love taking root in the hard prairie ground, and of families being torn asunder by a ferocious storm that is little remembered today because so many of its victims were immigrants to this country. So Lois Lenski's book took place in the end of 1940s, beginning of the 1950s. It was about a small country school in, northern South Dakota, just north of McLaughlin, just south of the North Dakota border. So this is an older period of time, but I think there's going to be a lot of similarities in culture. They won't have cars yet in this book, but the isolation, the remoteness will definitely be a thing. So then the other one I saw is wow, that's badly lit. Let's hold it like this. Gender Mosaic, Beyond the Myth of the Male and Female Brain. So I'm interested in this because the transgender topic has come up a lot, and a lot of the discussion on it is just misinformed, or it's based on religion or stereotypes and not actually the science. I've used the example several times of a Fox News interview with Hemant Mehta and Tony Perkins. Started out talking about some religion survey, so whatever. Tony Perkins is a preacher, Hemant Mehta is an atheist blogger. And then all of a sudden, oops, let's throw in a transgender topic. And neither one's qualified to talk about it. At least Hemant Mehta was self-aware enough to say that. Tony Perkins, charge, because that's his bread and butter. The right wing in this country is really getting a lot of mileage out of the transgender thing and fear of it. So I don't know if this is going to be about transgender, but is there really a male and female, or is it more complicated and gray than that? So I'm hoping that this will be a much better informed book. So it looked like it. We have the two authors. Daphna Joel is a professor of psychology and neuroscience at Tel Aviv University. She has combined her expertise as a neuroscientist with her interest in gender studies to revolutionize the field of sex, brain, and gender. In her research, Dr. Joel uses a wide range of analytical methods to analyze diverse data sets, from large collections of brain scans to information obtained from self-report questionnaires. Luba Vikansky graduated from New York University's Science, Health, and Environmental Reporting program and works as a science writer at the Weizmann Institute of Science. She's written 3 books, most recently Immunity: How Eli Mechnikov Changed the Course of Modern Medicine. So yeah, one is a writer, a science writer. I find a lot of scientists don't communicate very well. That's what makes people like Neil deGrasse Tyson special, or Carl Sagan, because they can communicate science where a lot of them just can't. So I think that's why we've got Luba Vikansky, because she'll communicate the science. So I look forward to reading that. I'll probably put that toward the top of my list. What did I bring with me to read? Because of course you know I did. I brought with me The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I've been working on it. I haven't gotten, haven't gotten very far into it yet, but it was a Hugo, it's winner of the Hugo Award for Best Series, so it must be part of a series. I don't remember when I picked it up, but it must have been in the summer. Oh yeah, so here's the rest of the series. So far it's a lot of character building. I don't really know what the story's about. The characters are interesting, but and she brings in aliens and is trying to make them alien and yet relatable to humans. So, that's a tricky dance and compromise thing, and I'm not sure how well that's going. But anyway, I'll have a full review eventually after I read it. While I'm here, I'm going to review. I want to find somewhere outdoors where I can film this. So I found out the gimbal. How long have I had the gimbal? I found out a gimbal can be set up as a tripod yesterday. So that's what I'm using right now. It's kind of handy for putting a cell phone on a tripod. And I'm trying out these guys, even though it makes me look weird having them in my ear. I'm trying them out as a microphone for, if I film my review, I'd kind of like to do it somewhere outdoors. So I think that'd be kind of a fun way. Well, be a way to record the sound. I have that wireless microphone that I can clip here, but it loses its connection like at the drop of a hat. So not thrilled with that. But these do pretty well, so we'll see how they do with sound. I don't know if I've ever actually listened to myself talking to them. When I do phone calls, especially if I'm expecting it, I'll pop these in because it's a lot easier than talking on the phone. Plus, I'm hands-free, so I can do whatever with my hands. Cook, or I've been known to cook while talking on the phone. And I just hear better with these in than I do over the phone. So anyway, I'm in Bismarck. I thought about showing you the outside view, but it's just a bunch of lights. So maybe tomorrow, because I know there's a very nice church just down the street. You wouldn't be able to make it out if I took the cell phone over and showed you, so I'm just not even going to bother. But Pens in Use is already filmed and uploaded, so it should publish at 3 p.m. tomorrow, my time. I'm trying to remember from right now, from UTC -6 or UTC -7, but or plus. I forget. I always have to write it down before I say it. Now I'm sorry I said it. Mountain time. If you're not in the United States, you have no clue what that is. But anyway, Denver time. There we go. Same time zone as Denver, Colorado. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little extra video. I'm going to listen to it, see what I sound like before I upload it. So, oh, one other thing. I've been experimenting. You saw it during the writing sample of my pen comparison, and then I did it for the full Pens in Use that's going to be tomorrow. I'm trying out a sample of the software that from Camtasia. It's called Audiate. It allows you to edit your audio, which will then in turn edit the video. So every time you go, it'll edit out and then clip the video a little bit closer. I liked the effect so far, liked the effect during the writing sample because it did very nicely clean it up. Not so great. I'm not sure yet how I feel about it when I'm live because I developed some very jerky movements as the natural flow as I move my hand is gone, where hand is here, then hand is here. So let me know what you think of that. But I'm not using it tonight. This is purely on the cell phone. I am not going to work that hard tonight. I'm going to read my book. Or start one of the others, but I probably should read my book. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night on Pens in Use. Talk to you later.